So myth number one is this idea that you can't sleep. And, but I read an article in the New York Times that said, why 70 million Americans can't sleep. We're using that as it's a colloquialism. It's more about why 70 million Americans are not happy with their sleep or expressing some sort of frustration with their sleep. 70 million Americans are not walking around this earth unable to sleep. So I think that's really important to understand that. And hopefully you find that to be kind of a starting point that is encouraging to you that, okay, I can sleep. And even if I tried to not sleep, do it. And we used to tell people all the time, if you can't sleep, just stay up all night. Why are you even getting into bed? Of course you're getting it because you're sleeping. It's impossible not to. The world record is, anyway. So myth number one, can't sleep. Myth number two is the 8 hours. I think we've really got to stop doing that and mixing messages. Sure, we've got a lot of people, maybe a lot of kids who are not getting the sleep they need. So for that population, trying to move them towards a number that is higher than the previous number is great, even if it's 15 minutes more. You're somebody who says, look, Chris, I'm getting 5 hours sleep. I'm doing just fine with that. You're not. Even though, Chris, I just took somebody's spleen out. I was talking to Suzanne, trauma surgeon, and she's like, look, I get 5 hours of sleep and I do operations. I feel great and my health is good. Leah, you're 34 and it's coming. Can I get you to sleep 5 hours and 45 minutes? Can we move that just a little closer to something that's a little bit healthier? But the 8-hour thing, we've just got to let go of, because for people who don't need it, it's just creating a performance anxiety that you're going to suffer some terrible health consequence if you're not getting 8 hours, because we're always going to run into trouble when we're applying averages to an individual. You are a unique individual on this planet, and that's awesome. And so your sleep needs, your food needs, your exercise needs, your relationship needs, your religious needs, your media needs are completely your own. And so I just think about that in terms of these averages are a guide. So if you're like, Chris, I have no idea how much I should sleep, what would you recommend? Okay, start with 7 or start with 8. Chris, I did 2 weeks of sleeping 7 hours and I am exhausted and I fall asleep immediately when I get into bed and it's very hard to wake up. Okay, looks like we undershot a little bit. Let's open that up to a 7.5-hour sleep window. Or the opposite happens. You start with 8 and you're like, Chris, every night I go to bed, it takes me an hour to fall asleep. Great. You need 7. And your body is telling you that. In fact, for years, your body has been telling you that. So your use of the trazodone and the Seroquel and the Ambien and the Lunesta and the Lindsey Vonn sleeping pill or whatever is not because you've got a problem. You've got an expectation issue. As would I if I expected to be able to eat an entire pizza every night for dinner. I'm eating half and throwing the rest in the trash can. Doc, something's wrong with my appetite. I need an appetite stimulant. Why? I can't even finish my dinner. What does the bad doctor say? Great. What kind of appetite stimulant would you like? What does the good doctor say? They say, tell me about your dinner. It's a full meat lover's pizza. It's huge. It's like the diameter of it's like the size of a car wheel. Chris, why are you eating that? I don't know. I read an article about a football player who eats an entire pizza every night for dinner and he's super healthy and wealthy and got an attractive partner and that's what I want in my life. Chris, you're a little guy. You're not even 5'9". You can't eat an entire pizza. So that expectation matters. And for sleep, if you're expecting to get 8, but you're genetically programmed to get 7, you're always going to fail. And that fail is in question mark. So I would think about that as well too. And kind of along with that, maybe myth number 3 is if you're in bed and sleep isn't happening quickly, get out of bed and go do something until sleep, revisits your life or whatever the cute. Listen, if you're frustrated after being in bed for 30 seconds, get out, go do something. I don't want you in bed frustrated. I don't want you associating, when I go to that bedroom, that's where the torture begins. I was just in the Tower of London a couple of days ago, and I went through the place where they had people on the rack and all these terrible torture devices. If that's the way, if you're walking into your bedroom every night thinking you are now in the Tower of London, the Bloody Tower, or what do they call it, then I think we've got some things to work on here. I don't want that to happen. I want the bedroom to be a place where you kind of run towards it. It's exciting. I want the bedroom to be nice and neat and clean and tidy, like you're walking into don't you love when you walk into a hotel room and everything's just perfect? There's no bills to be paid or laundry to be folded. It just says, "Hey, come here, weary traveler, and sleep." That's what your bed should be like. So you should look forward to going to bed at night, getting into that bed. So to that end, make it a special place. Buy a nice, duvet cover or some bamboo sheets or get a pillow that really works for you and make it a place that's really inviting. So I think that's an important one.